was coaching our son to lie on me, and I had to record it. But my marriage has landed me in a very dangerous position. My stepdaughter was just taking my CPS because of her father.
Nobody saw this coming, but maybe we should have. What started as a fairy tale between Dwight Howard and Amy Luciani has now turned into something far darker, far messier, and, honestly, far more disturbing than anyone expected. Because behind the smiling photos, the romantic captions, and that rushed wedding, there were cracks. Big ones. And now, those cracks have completely shattered. We're talking about explosive arguments, shocking accusations, emotional breakdowns caught on camera, and sources claiming that what's happening behind closed doors is even worse than what's being shown to the public. But here's where it gets crazy. Just when people thought this divorce was a simple split, new details started leaking. Messages, allegations, and whispers of something much deeper going on, something that could change the entire narrative. And trust me, if even half of these claims are true, then this isn't just a messy breakup. This is a full-blown scandal. So the real question is, what really happened between Dwight and Amy? And why is everything blowing up right now, all at once? To really understand how things between Dwight Howard and Amy Luciani spiraled into absolute chaos, you have to realize something first. This relationship didn't just fall apart overnight. It was a ticking time bomb from the very beginning. For years, Dwight's name has been surrounded by controversy. Not just the usual celebrity gossip, but a pattern. Multiple relationships, multiple children, and a reputation that seemed to shift depending on who was telling the story. Publicly, he tried to maintain a polished image, disciplined, focused, and grounded in strong beliefs. But behind the scenes, there were always whispers. Whispers about his personal life, about contradictions between what he showed the world and what was allegedly happening in private. Lawsuits, rumors, and stories that never fully disappeared. They just faded long enough before resurfacing again, louder than before. And then came Amy. At first, it looked like a fresh start. A new chapter. When Amy entered the picture, some fans actually believed this could be the moment Dwight finally settled down. Amy, known for her own strong personality and presence in the spotlight, didn't seem like someone who would tolerate nonsense. But that's exactly why people were confused. Because the timing felt off. Right when Dwight was facing renewed scrutiny and old allegations were creeping back into conversations, suddenly, there was a public engagement. A big announcement. A bold statement to the world that everything was fine. Or at least, that's what it looked like. Friends, fans, and even some insiders quietly questioned it. Was this real love or something else? A distraction? A way to shift the narrative? Still, the two moved fast. Too fast. Before anyone could even process the engagement, wedding bells rang. January 2025, officially husband and wife. Social media showed smiles, glimpses of happiness, and just enough proof to make it all seem believable. But here's the thing. Sometimes, the louder the perfect looks on the outside, the more it's hiding on the inside. And it didn't take long before those hidden cracks started to show. Because just a few months into the marriage, something changed. And once people noticed it, they couldn't unsee it. Something was very, very wrong. It didn't start with a huge announcement. It started with silence. Fans first noticed something was off when Amy Luciani and Dwight Howard suddenly stopped posting each other. No cute pictures. No couple moments. No interactions. At first, people brushed it off. Maybe they just wanted privacy. But then, things got weird. They started showing up to events separately. Interviews felt tense. And insiders began whispering that behind the scenes, arguments were getting louder and uglier. According to a supposed close source, one explosive fight allegedly happened late at night inside their home, voices raised, doors slammed, and accusations thrown back and forth like weapons. And then came the leak. A series of alleged text messages started circulating online. Messages that painted a completely different picture of their marriage. In those messages, Amy was reportedly confronting Dwight about secrets she claimed he had been hiding since before the wedding. One message read, "You told me everything was in the past, so why is it still following us?" Another one, even more intense, "I feel like I married someone I don't even know." The internet went wild. People began connecting dots. Old rumors resurfaced. Past allegations that had once faded into the background were suddenly front and center again. And Dwight? He didn't stay silent. He went live. In a now viral clip, he appeared calm, but his words told a different story. He brushed off the rumors, telling viewers that people were too focused on the past and that everything being said was twisted. But not everyone was convinced. Because just days after that live, Amy made her move. She filed for divorce. Just 6 months after saying, "I do." Official documents cited the marriage as irretrievably broken, no chance of fixing it. No hope left. But here's the twist no one expected. Less than 2 months later, they were seen together again. Smiling, laughing, acting like nothing ever happened. Wait, what? A messy breakup is one thing, but a sudden reunion after a public divorce filing? That's something else entirely. And that's when people realized this story wasn't just messy. It was unpredictable. Just when people thought this situation couldn't get any more confusing, it exploded. After briefly appearing back together, Amy Luciani suddenly went completely off script, and what happened next sent shockwaves across the internet. It started with a video. Late at night, inside a car, dim lighting, tears streaming down her face. Amy hit record, and everything changed. In the now viral clip, she didn't hold back. She began making a series of emotional and deeply alarming claims about Dwight Howard, claims that instantly turned a messy divorce into a full-blown public crisis. She alleged that her marriage had put her in a dangerous situation. She hinted at serious issues happening behind closed doors. And then she said something that made everyone pause. According to Amy, authorities had gotten involved. Yes, authorities. Within minutes, clips of her breakdown were all over social media. TikTok, Instagram, X, everywhere. Hashtags started trending. People weren't just watching anymore. They were picking sides. But here's where it gets even more intense. Shortly after Amy's video went viral, alleged insider reports began surfacing. Anonymous accounts claiming to be close to the situation started dropping details, unverified, shocking, and impossible to ignore. One account posted, "This isn't even half of what's been happening. If the truth comes out, it's over." Another claimed there had been multiple incidents at their home in recent weeks, arguments, disturbances, and moments that allegedly required outside intervention. And then, a report surfaced that made everything feel even more real. Sources claimed that authorities had been called to the residence multiple times within a short period. No one knew exactly what happened during those visits, but the implication alone was enough to send the internet into a frenzy. Suddenly, this wasn't just about a relationship falling apart. This was something bigger, darker. And Dwight? He responded, but not in the way people expected. Instead of a detailed explanation, he kept it short, dismissive almost. He insisted that things were being exaggerated, that people were creating narratives without knowing the full truth. But that response only made things worse, because now the public had two completely different stories, and no clear answer. So the question became, who's telling the truth? And more importantly, what are they both not saying? At this point, it wasn't just gossip anymore. This had turned into a full-blown internet war. The moment Amy Luciani dropped that emotional video, social media didn't just react, it exploded. Timelines were flooded. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. And hashtags with Dwight Howard's name started trending within hours. But here's where it got messy. People were completely divided. On one side, you had those who believed Amy instantly. They pointed to her tears, her tone, and the urgency in her voice as proof that something serious had happened behind closed doors. Comments like, "You can't fake that kind of emotion. She looks genuinely scared. Something is not right," started going viral. But on the other side, a whole different narrative was forming. Some users accused Amy of exaggerating the situation, claiming she was using the drama for attention. Others brought up Dwight's past and argued that while he wasn't perfect, The timing of these allegations felt convenient. And just like that, the internet split into two teams. Team Amy versus Team Dwight. But it didn't stop there. So-called industry insiders began chiming in. Podcast clips surfaced. Commentary channels started breaking down every second of Amy's video, analyzing her body language, her wording, even her pauses. One viral post claimed, "There are conversations happening behind the scenes that the public isn't ready for yet." And that line? It sent people into overdrive. Speculation reached a whole new level. Some believed there were more videos that hadn't been released. Others claimed legal teams were already working overtime to control what information could come out next. Even people connected to Dwight's past began resurfacing, subtly liking posts, dropping vague comments, and adding fuel to the fire without saying too much. It was like everyone knew something, but no one was saying it directly. Meanwhile, news outlets started picking up the story, each one adding their own spin, their own sources, their own version of events. And with every new headline, the situation got messier. Because now, it wasn't just about what happened between two people. It had become a public spectacle, a narrative that was growing bigger by the hour. And just when it seemed like things couldn't escalate any further, a new detail surfaced. One that no one saw coming. Just when the public thought they had a handle on the chaos, the story flipped completely. Late last week, an alleged insider reached out to multiple outlets claiming there was another layer to the Dwight and Amy saga, something even more explosive than the emotional breakdowns and social media drama. According to this source, Amy supposedly discovered a hidden set of messages and documents suggesting that Dwight may have been orchestrating parts of the public narrative to manipulate perception. The claim? That some of the leaks and accidental posts we've all seen weren't so accidental after all. That Dwight allegedly had a team carefully curating the story, shaping which parts would go viral, and even controlling what Amy could say publicly. Fans immediately went into overdrive. Twitter threads erupted. Is Dwight controlling everything? Are we watching a reality show or real life? This changes everything. Amy might have been blindsided. But here's the kicker. The source hinted at even more shocking revelations coming soon, documents and messages that could shake the NBA world and the reality TV universe at the same time. Meanwhile, Amy reportedly went silent, deleting certain posts and leaving only cryptic captions. Social media speculated she might be preparing a major statement. But no one knew when it would drop, and speculation alone fueled hours of commentary, debates, and conspiracy theories. Celebrities began weighing in too, some subtly, some publicly. A few industry names tweeted vague statements like, "Some things aren't what they seem." Stay tuned, this story isn't over. The public was left with more questions than answers. Were Dwight's actions really manipulative? Was Amy truly blindsided, or was there more complexity behind their split? And most importantly, what was coming next? One thing was certain, this drama is far from over. Sources close to the situation hinted that the next big reveal could involve more personal details, shocking allegations, and even potential legal battles that could redefine the public narrative completely. And as of now, no official statements have clarified the truth. So the question on everyone's mind: who will speak first, what will drop next, and how much of this story will actually stay secret? Trust me, you do not want to miss the next chapter of this unbelievable, messy saga. Alright fam, now it's your turn. We've seen the tears, the text leaks, the alleged threats, and even the insider hints that there's so much more coming. And honestly, this story is far from over. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you believe Amy's claims, or do you think Dwight is playing the ultimate game behind the scenes? Could this really be a case of manipulation, or is it just two people with messy lives colliding in the spotlight? Comment your thoughts below because we're reading every single one. And let's be real, the internet is already divided. Some fans are siding with Amy, some are defending Dwight, and some are just here for the chaos. Where do you stand? Don't hold back. We want the tea, the raw, unfiltered opinions. If you're as obsessed with this drama as we are, smash that like button. It tells us you want us to keep bringing the juiciest, most shocking celebrity updates. Hit subscribe and turn on the notifications because trust me, The next chapter of this Dwight and Amy saga is going to be even crazier. We're talking potential legal battles, new allegations, and more social media explosions that will have everyone talking. And when it drops, we want you to be the first to know. So comment below. Team Amy or Team Dwight? Do you think there's more behind the scenes that the public hasn't seen yet? Who do you think will make the next move? Your opinions could spark the next viral debate. And don't go anywhere, because this story is evolving every single day. We'll be right here covering every shocking, messy, and dramatic update as it unfolds. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.